Hey guys, this is Ron with Rising Sun Properties. Today we are in Kobe checking out a couple properties. This one right here is for sale. We're gonna go in and take a tour of it. It's in a quiet neighborhood. I'm gonna put the location approximation in the video here so you can check that out. Closest train station. There's a supermarket about 5-10 minutes walk from here, so pretty good location. This is a 3 LDK and I believe it's 7.8 million yen. So let's go take a look. It has some renovations done and overall isn't in too bad of shape. So for about the 8 million yen range, I think this is a pretty good property to consider. Okay, here we are in the house. This is the Genkan here. So if you come on in, here is the first room. It's got these kind of, it is an older home. I think it was built in 1970 or 72. So, you know, it's not gonna be brand new. It's not gonna be perfect, but it has some character to it, like some of these doors with the stars. You see this a lot in older homes. You can see the wallpapers are done here. And the floor is done. It's just a kind of a cheap vinyl, right? But it is remodeled somewhat, and it's not super old, and overall feels pretty solid. You know, this stuff is in here just for show. It's not going to come with the house. This room does have some closet space, very typical Japanese closet space, but plenty of room. This is under the stairs, so you can see the stairs coming up here. But you know, there's some stuff here that would be removed. But there's some storage here. So this is the first room, and as you can see, there's a window out front here coming outside. So this is the entrance. So there are shutters right here. They kind of slide. If you've seen any videos of mine or other people's, you'll see these shutters. Some of them are steel. These are older ones, they're wood, but they just slide all the way out. So if you're gonna be gone for a while and wanna close up your place, they're nice to have. Just slide them out, shut them when you're here, open them up and get them out of the way. All right, now into the kitchen. So we do have a sink right here. Again, it's kind of awkward. Some of these older homes are just built like that. Somebody mentioned in my last video about the homes just being kind of awkwardly built. This is another good example. The sink is right here. It's, you know, remodeled, it's new. Again, not the highest quality. It's kind of plastic, cheap, but it's done, ready to go. The toilet's here. It's got the wash lid in there. And there's, you know, enough room for your knees here. So it's not super tight, but it's a little bit cramped. No vent, but there is a window. So I don't know if you'd be able to, ouch, just hit my head. I don't know if you'd be able to put so that's good. Again, I'm about 6 feet tall. I just cracked my head on here. I've been in Japan for 12 years and it still happens, so be careful. I'd say, I don't know, what would that be, like 5'7" or something here? Like, but watch your head. Into the kitchen. Again, it's been remodeled and redone a bit. The flooring, it's just a cheaper vinyl, but it's done. It looks like the walls have been painted. There is an electric stove here. If you want to, there's gas, but it looks like this is the induction heating that they have put in now. Sink, nothing special. See a little bit of leaking here, you know, so there's some issues. Again, for the price, I don't think it's a bad buy. However, one thing we did notice, there's no place for a washing machine in here. So I don't know if I'm missing it. I don't know where it could be, but as far as we can see, there's no room for a washing machine. So that's something to keep in mind, because could be a big issue. Here's the bathroom. It's again watch your head. Baby blue, you gotta love it. It never gets old. They got the baby pink, this one's got the baby blue. The tub's pretty deep, but a little bit short. It does have the autofill. I assume it works, I haven't tried it, but overall, pretty simple, small bath. There's some cracking, as you can see in the video. There's bad, geez, I just saw this one. There's pretty bad cracking here, so would definitely need inspection on any of these homes. You can see my head here. Inspections again running about 100,000, 150,000 yen, depending on the property, but definitely would need an inspection on this home. Okay, let's go up to the second floor. That's pretty much all for the first floor. I'll put some videos of the backyard in there that I took earlier. Okay, so that was the first floor. Let's go check out the second floor. Stairs aren't too steep, which is nice. Some stairs are very steep here in Japan. These aren't too bad. There's two rooms on either side, so they both have the sliding doors. Actually, this one swings, but this is a sliding door. I showed in the video, or I will show the tatami. I had it up. The floor underneath seems fine. It's solid. The house isn't shaking. It sounds pretty solid overall, so that's good. Tatami's new. You can smell it. It smells like a barn in here. I was looking for signs of water damage, and I don't really see any, so that's great. It doesn't look like these ceilings are very new either, so if there is water coming through, it seems like we would be able to see. I'm just not seeing any. Aircon 2011, they're recommended to change every 10 years, so this would probably need to be replaced, although it looks clean and ready to go, so you could use it temporarily. Closet space, nothing fancy, but it's there. Space underneath here. Again, these old homes in Japan have tons of storage. This home is no different. Balcony, shows you windows and papers redone. And again, these awkward steps that I always talk about the same height up to my knee. And yeah, kind of quiet neighborhood. Nothing, spectacular views out here like the mountains or anything like that, but it's a nice quiet neighborhood. I chatted with the guy who lives across the street, older gentleman, and very nice, very kind. So Kobe seems to have very friendly people overall. Not that Nagoya people aren't friendly, and Tokyo's the big city, right? But our experience here in the last couple of days, everyone's been very friendly, very nice, saying hello, very chatty. So I think it's a great place to consider buying here in Kobe. Here's the door. It's just a swing door. Again, wallpapers have been done. So those are new. The other Japanese tatami room, new tatami. Okay, here's the second room upstairs, another tatami room. New tatami. Again, floor feels pretty solid and the house overall feels solid. Japanese closet. Storage, this is an older aircon. Not sure the year. It looks pretty old, like 20 plus years, so this would definitely need to be replaced, but the holes there, the electrical outlets there, so that's great, ready to go. These got, you got the shoji paper here. You can see how close the neighbors are to either side. Pretty close, not right up against each other, but it's Japan and that's just the way it is. View out the window, as you'll see in the video, got those beautiful blue tiles that you see. If you look on, there's blue tiles, you can see them all over the place out there. There's the grocery store right there. So it's a bit of an uphill walk to get here, but the store is pretty close and it's a convenient location. So okay, that's our first house. We are going to go to one more house. Again, this is in Kobe. This is a 7.8 million yen, 3 LDK. If you have any questions about it, please reach out. All right, on our way to the second property. This one here is a 2-story, 4 LDK, 83 square meters, built in 1970, 5.6 million yen. About a 7-minute walk to the closest station. To be honest, I'll be completely upfront before I show this property and go into details about it. Not something that I would recommend buying, but I think there's value in looking at this property and seeing what's going on with it and knowing that this is what's out there. You know, you don't really know what's going on until you actually get into the property, and this is a very good example of it. On paper, and even on some of the photos, doesn't look too bad, but you get into the home and it needs a lot of work and probably just needs to be torn down. It hasn't been lived in who knows how many years. It seems like a while, like 10, 15 or more. Pretty dusty and dirty. Here's the entrance, the Genkan. You know, there's mites in the tatami. A buddy of mine bought an old home and I slept on the tatami mat one time and I just got eaten alive by mites. Horrible experience. So any old home like this, or any homes in general that you're getting that's older that has tatami, definitely think about getting new tatami because there could be bugs in there. Here's the bathroom. You can just see the wallpaper on the top hanging off. Hasn't been maintained. No renovations whatsoever. You know, a property like this at the price, you're hoping that the bones are good enough, and that's what these buyers we're working with right now are hoping. You know, they're looking for something where the bones are good and it needs renovations. You can get at a lower price. This, unfortunately, as you'll see once I get under the floor, it looks like there's a lot of termite damage. That crawl space right there at the bottom, I'm getting in here. Immediately, you just see this broken up wood. That's signs of termite damage and some issues with the foundation, so probably not something you really want to look much into after seeing this, just because if there's a problem there, where are there other problems? Probably going to be all over the place. It is challenging when you have a lower budget to find something that has a good structure. You know, these homes aren't built to last forever. They're built to last 50, 80 years, be torn down. You definitely can find them, and we have, and we will find those kind of homes, but it's a lot more difficult just because you have to sift through so many to find the one, you know, diamond in the rough, so to speak, where it's a good home, it's what you're looking for, the location, and the bones, the structure still looks pretty solid. To be honest, this here didn't look too bad, but from what we saw in the bathroom, it's, you know, it just looks pretty rough overall. Even the floorboards upstairs, you'll see that here later in the video, a bit thin, and everything needs to be remodeled. Those floors probably torn up, the tatami's all redone, the doors didn't really close too well. And they had those really old school windows where they're not glazed even, so they rattle. I lived in one of these kind of homes here in Nagoya. In the wintertime, it's deathly cold because there's nothing stopping that air, you know, let alone double or single pane. They're not even glazed, so that wind comes directly through. So all of that would need to be replaced. This, you know, the layout of the home isn't bad. It's for a bigger family. It's kind of loops around, has plenty of space. Upstairs, there's a couple more bedrooms. Again, if the foundation and the bones are good and you're interested in remodeling, something like this would be a good option, but we just need to make sure that, you know, it's structurally sound. This one does not seem like it is at all, so not even worth really moving forward with the inspection, to be honest. But again, you don't know until you come and see it in person. They're not going to tell you. The seller side's not going to tell you. They're not going to spend their time and effort jumping on the floor here. It did feel a little bit shaky, you know, not super solid like the one before. The tatami is really soft and weird. You can see it's old, you know, maybe just been weathered and worn over the years. I do pull one up so you can look at the floorboards. See cracking on the walls. That's very common in a home this age, so not surprised to see anything like that. Shot of the second room upstairs and getting into the floorboard here. Kind of a pain, but I can sometimes get those tatami off just to check it. Right there, it seemed a little bit soft. I didn't want to jump on it too hard. Not super solid. Wasn't really afraid of going through, but you know, felt like maybe I could. Anyways, those are two homes in Kobe. Those are, you know, what you can get for that kind of budget. Just depends on, you know, what we can find. So if you're interested in looking in this area or any other areas in Japan, please reach out. We're a licensed real estate agent and we're here to help. Thank you very much. See you guys next time.